Yeah, let's be honest. How many of us actually think about string tension after we get tuned up and ready to rehearse or warm up or practice or just get on with our daily routine? I wonder a little bit about that myself. And for those of us who aren't familiar with why this click is going in the background, I wanted to just give us a little bit of disclaimer here, because it can be a really annoying tool, especially if you aren't used to it. But what you're going to do when we start getting used to the guitar and start living with it, internal time tends to fluctuate. And what we want to do is be observers of that. And the only way we can do that is to measure our internal rhythms against what's calculated here in the metronome. So I'm at 70 beats per minute this morning. But I was wondering a little bit about string tension. And it's it might seem asinine to some, but I mean, pair that with the size of the thickness of the pick that we're using. I know if I abuse that string tension, I know that the guitar talks back. And that's what this session is. I know that's what we're trying to talk about today, is how we really just are always in discovery of the guitar's dynamic range. And the late, great 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀 always talked about, even into his 90s, being able to find new guitar tone. And you imagine being a master, considered a world master of an instrument. Being able to live your whole life and find something new about it every day. Just imagine it. So I'm wondering a little bit about string tension here. And you can hear that when I grab that high E string, the high E string is activating all of the other strings on the guitar, which is a really cool place to be. But if I play it, it has a little bit to do with pick angle and pick angle here, and then whether I'm leaning forward or back. I mean, all of this has to do with tone generation, but I'm talking even preceding tone generation. I'm just wondering, where do I start to break the string, right? Am I using a pick that's too heavy? Am I securing the pick in my fingertips? Or am I letting the pick sort of wander around a little bit, to the point where if I use any more pressure, it may just fall out of my hands? Wondered a little bit about, have you ever just sat there and thought about string tension? What after you get tuned up and then you're ready to practice, and you go through the top two the E and B strings of the guitar, and it's maybe I went a little hard on that. I'm not really referencing, although it changes a little bit, whether we're playing at the bridge or over the guitar neck or the fretboard. But the string tension really, even before we get into tone production, just being aware of string tension. So I'm thinking, you know, how many of us actually take the time to master going through, just strumming through two strings? You know, what happens after we fall through the two strings? How much resistance is the pick experiencing as we drop through the string set? I mean, how much pressure do I need to exert to get through those two strings? And it could seem pretty elementary to most of us, but if we haven't thought about this yet, this is a great part of the dynamic part of the guitar to understand. Because I can get to the top of the guitar and just not worry too much about, you know, whether the pick is kind of pressing too hard on the string. Maybe it's breaking the tonal structure of the string, you know, kind of like. I think at some points, you know, we just kind of get going too much against it. We're not thinking necessarily about the instrument. We're just thinking about the product maybe sometimes. And I just wanted to, not that that's a bad thing, because we need to progress, I think. But I also just wanted to take a minute just to observe that string tension, and can be a really great way to expand our awareness of the guitar, as we expand our awareness of string tension and what is that doing to the way, how is that influencing the way I hold the pick. I mean, what are we doing? We're improvising our way through the guitar. Am I paying attention to what, you know, how much resistance the guitar is actually offering me? Like how much is the guitar asking me to put into it in order to get an agreeable sound out of it? That's all I wanted to just approach today. It's a very simple session today, but, you know, maybe you have some responses to that. And maybe you want to leave those in the comments below. And if you do, all it does is help inform all of us in our journey. So I'd like to see more of this kind of stuff. Just more thoughtful approaches to living and life in the guitar world. I know we need to sell things, but most of us were here, you know, in the beginning we're called to it for some reason. And there's just so much going on in the world of the guitar that we can be just tearing apart arpeggios, you know. I just wanted to talk about string dynamics today, the thing that comes before the other things on the guitar that we sometimes may just overlook because of our day-to-day schedules. So, string tension. Thanks for coming today. I really appreciate seeing you again, and until next time, happy picking.